In 2010, a grand charity gala took place, bringing together influential figures from all walks of life. The elegant venue sparkled with decorations, and the air buzzed with anticipation. People mingled, sharing stories and laughter, united by a common purpose: to raise funds for veterans and their families. Guests dressed in their finest attire, creating a dazzling sight that amplified the evening's excitement. Among the array of stars present, none shone brighter than the legendary Elton John. Known for his powerful voice and heartfelt performances, he was a crowd favorite, and everyone eagerly awaited his appearance. As guests chatted about their reasons for supporting the cause, many spoke of their admiration for Elton, not just as an artist but as a humanitarian who had long championed issues close to his heart. As the gala progressed, the mood shifted to one of reflection. The stories shared that night reminded everyone of the sacrifices made by those who served in the military. Many attendees had personal connections to these sacrifices, including 79-year-old Nora Evans, a war widow whose husband had fought bravely in Korea. She had come to the gala not just to enjoy an evening of entertainment, but to honor her late husband's memory. When Elton finally took the stage, cheers erupted from the crowd, and Nora found herself ensnared by his music. But what she treated as mere entertainment would soon turn into a deeply personal moment. The connection between music and memory filled the room, setting the stage for an encounter that would forever intertwine Nora's story with one of the most iconic musicians of our time. As emotions ran high, little did anyone know how profound this night would become for both Nora and Elton. Nora Evans, a 79-year-old war widow, arrived at the gala filled with mixed emotions. As she stepped into the elegant venue, she was reminded of the many years since her husband, James, had been taken from her. He served bravely in Korea during a tumultuous time, and his absence left a void that had never truly healed. Nora often reflected on their life together, the laughter they shared, the dreams they built, and the quiet moments spent in each other's company. James had always been supportive of her passions, especially music. He would often play Elton John's songs on their old record player, singing along with joy. Those melodies became the soundtrack of their love story. When James was deployed, he would write letters filled with tales of courage and hope while sharing how much he missed her. Nora cherished those letters and held on to them as treasures during difficult times. On one fateful day in Korea, while stationed in a dangerous zone, James listened to Elton John's voice on the radio just before a decisive moment in his life. It was that moment that connected him to home and comforted him amid the chaos surrounding him. Nora could still recall the look on his face when he spoke about hearing that song. It brought him peace during uncertain times. As Nora stood among the gala's guests, she felt an overwhelming mix of pride and sorrow. The memories of her husband flooded back as she prepared to meet Elton John backstage. She hoped to find a way to honor his legacy and express her gratitude for the music that had meant so much to both of them. Little did she know that this encounter would be as significant for her as it would be for Elton. As Nora waited backstage, her heart raced with anticipation and nerves. The sounds of the gala echoed in her ears, but she felt a world apart. This moment was more than just meeting a famous musician. It was a chance to connect deeply with a part of her husband's memory. Just then, she spotted Elton John through the curtain, surrounded by staff and fans. With each step toward him, memories of James flooded her mind, his laughter, his voice, and those stolen moments when they listened to Elton's songs together. When she finally stood before him, Nora felt a wave of emotion wash over her. Elton looked at her with genuine curiosity, his warm smile inviting her in as he leaned closer. With trembling hands, she took a deep breath and spoke softly. "You were the last voice my husband heard in Korea." The words seemed to hang in the air, heavy with love and loss. For a brief moment, time stood still as they both understood the weight of this revelation. Elton's eyes widened in surprise and compassion as he wrapped his arms around her in an embrace that felt both comforting and profound. He whispered back to her, "Then I hope he left in peace." At that moment, Nora felt an indescribable connection between them, a shared understanding of sacrifice and solace brought by music. Tears welled in her eyes as the reality of the moment settled in. She had come to pay tribute to James, but now she realized that their love story resonated even within this famous artist. As they stood there together, it became clear that this encounter would be etched into both their hearts, a reminder that music has the power to heal and connect souls across time and space. As Nora stood before Elton John, the weight of her words hung in the air, creating a bond between them that transcended time and space. Reeling from the profound revelation, Elton felt a rush of emotions. He had touched countless lives through his music, but this moment was different. It was personal, intimate, and steeped in the deep sorrow of loss. Nora's heartfelt statement echoed in his mind as he processed the gravity of being the last voice James had heard in his final moments. With genuine compassion radiating from him, Elton instinctively stepped closer to her. He reached out, wrapping his arms around Nora for an embrace that felt both protective and understanding. In that shared silence, they communicated without words, the grief, the love, and the essence of remembering those who had sacrificed so much. Elton could feel Nora's trembling body against him, and it moved him deeply. As he pulled back slightly to look into her eyes, he whispered softly, "Then I hope he left in peace." His words were comforting, yet they carried an acknowledgement of the pain she had endured since losing James. In that fleeting moment, he understood the power of his music and how it had served as a lifeline for others during their darkest times. Nora's eyes filled with tears, grateful for this act of kindness from a man she admired and who had unknowingly comforted her husband so long ago. The connection forged in that backstage meeting truly captured the essence of healing through music. Two hearts coming together to honor a legacy of love and sacrifice. They stood together for what felt like an eternity, knowing that a simple encounter could mean everything in a world often clouded by loss. The encounter between Nora and Elton John lingered in the air, filled with unspoken emotions and memories of love. For Nora, this moment was a bittersweet culmination of years spent grieving her husband, James. In sharing her story, she found an unexpected comfort that transcended her sorrow. The embrace from Elton felt like a warm reminder that she was not alone in her memories. There were others who recognized the sacrifices made by those who served. On the other hand, Elton was profoundly moved by hearing how his music had played a role in James's final moments. It transformed his perception of the songs he had written. Rather than being just melodies, they became lifelines, echoing through time to offer solace and connection. This experience reminded him why he continued to perform and advocate for veterans. It was about more than entertainment, it was about healing. As they shared their emotional exchange, both felt a weight lift from their hearts. Nora's tears were not just of sadness but also of relief, knowing that her husband's memory would be honored publicly through their connection. For Elton, it reinforced his purpose as an artist, to inspire and comfort people through the struggles of life. In the days that followed, this poignant meeting resonated deeply within both of them. Nora often reflected on how her life intertwined with music and how it had guided her through grief. For Elton, each performance took on new meaning as he thought of people like Nora who found strength in his songs. When he dedicated "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road" later that night, he poured every ounce of emotion into the performance, struggling yet succeeding because he knew it was more than just a song. This time, it was a tribute to love, loss, and the resilience of the human spirit. Their shared moment had become a symbol of hope for both, reminding them that even amid sorrow, music could create lasting bonds. As the gala continued, the atmosphere shifted, filled with anticipation for Elton John's performance. The crowd buzzed with excitement, yet there was an underlying current of emotion, a collective recognition of the significance behind the evening. Nora, still feeling the warmth of her encounter with Elton, took her seat among the audience, her heart racing as she awaited the moment when he would take the stage. When Elton finally appeared, the lights dimmed slightly, creating an intimate ambience that enveloped everyone in the room. He approached the piano, his fingers hovering over the keys as he looked out at the sea of faces before him. But his eyes sought out one individual, Nora. In that moment, he felt a rush of emotion reminiscent of their earlier conversation, and he knew this performance would carry an additional weight. As he began to play Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. The familiar melody flowed through the room, mingling with memories and feelings shared by everyone present. Each note resonated not just as a song but as a tribute to love and loss. Elton found himself pouring every ounce of his heart into the music, knowing that Nora was listening intently, contemplating the significance of the song in light of her husband's memory. However, as he reached certain lines, emotions overwhelmed him. The realization that this song was now a bridge between his music and Nora's poignant story made it difficult to continue. Tears welled in his eyes, and for a brief moment, he struggled to find his voice. The audience sensed this vulnerability, collectively holding their breath as they witnessed a legendary artist pushed to his emotional limits. Yet, in that struggle lay beauty, this shared understanding that music has the power to heal and connect people in profound ways. As Elton finally gathered himself to finish the song, Nora felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. This dedication was more than just entertainment. It was a heartfelt acknowledgement of sacrifice and love, a celebration of lives intertwined through melody and memory. As Elton continued to play, "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road," the melody filled the room, but he felt an unexpected heaviness in his heart. Each note seemed to resonate with the memories of Nora's late husband, James, and the weight of their shared moment hung in the air like a delicate thread connecting them all. As he sang, recalling how his music had served as a lifeline for many, he became acutely aware of the personal significance this performance held. With every verse, emotions surged within him. The lyrics took on new meaning as he thought of Nora's poignant words and what they represented: love, sacrifice, and remembrance. But as he approached key lines of the song, a lump formed in his throat, making it difficult to sing. The realization that he was not just performing a song but honoring a life lost struck him profoundly. For a brief moment, he faltered, his voice trembling as tears pricked at the corners of his eyes. The audience could sense his struggle. They leaned forward in their seats, sharing his vulnerability and feeling the powerful connection that was unfolding before them. It was a vivid reminder that even a superstar like Elton John could be moved by raw human emotion. In that heartfelt struggle, there was beauty, a silent acknowledgement that everyone in that room carried their own stories of love and loss. Gathering himself, he took a deep breath and pressed on, determined to finish. The audience rallied around him with an empathetic energy, willing him forward as they collectively held their breath. When Elton finally reached the end of the song, he poured every bit of emotion into the final notes, tying together the threads of love and memory. Nora felt every word deep in her soul as she witnessed this iconic moment, a tribute not only to her husband but to anyone who had experienced loss. The applause that followed wasn't just for Elton. It was a chorus of shared grief and gratitude for music's ability to bridge gaps between hearts across time and experience. In the wake of that emotionally charged performance, reflections on the role of music in healing and remembrance became even more pronounced. Music has long been a powerful tool for expressing feelings that are often too difficult to articulate. For many, it serves as a bridge between the past and present, allowing them to connect with lost loved ones and remember their sacrifices. This was especially evident during the gala, where the atmosphere was thick with stories of valor and loss. For Nora, Elton's music had been a source of comfort throughout her years of grief. Each note from his songs carried fragments of her husband's spirit back to her, reminding her of their shared moments while they were together. Now, standing there as Elton dedicated "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road" to her husband, she felt a profound sense of recognition, not just for James but for all those who had sacrificed their lives in service to their country. Music became an act of remembrance, echoing their stories through time. Elton's struggle to finish the song highlighted this connection further. In those moments of vulnerability, he understood that music was more than entertainment. It encompassed memories, emotions, and tributes to lives lost in conflict. The audience felt this connection too, a collective acknowledgement that many had faced similar heartaches and found solace in melodies that spoke directly to their souls. As people left the gala that night, they carried with them not only Elton's music but also a reminder that healing is often intertwined with remembrance. Through shared songs and stories, they could honor their loved ones while celebrating hope and resilience. This experience reaffirmed the idea that music is a universal language, one that can help heal wounds caused by loss and create enduring bonds between hearts across generations. In this way, both Nora and Elton discovered that love truly transcends even the deepest grief when expressed through melody. In the aftermath of that unforgettable night, both Nora and Elton found themselves changed in meaningful ways. For Nora, meeting Elton was not just a moment of closure, it became an uplifting source of comfort and strength. Through their connection, she felt seen and validated in her grief. The experience helped her realize that sharing her husband's story could inspire others to remember their own loved ones. Music had always been a part of her healing journey, but this encounter transformed it into something more active, a way to celebrate love rather than merely mourn loss. Elton, on his side, gained a deeper understanding of the impact his music had on people's lives. While he had always known that his songs resonated with fans, the exchange with Nora illuminated how profoundly they could touch hearts in moments of vulnerability. He understood now that each performance was not just about entertaining but also about connecting with listeners on an emotional level. This awareness renewed his commitment to use his platform to honor those who served and those who lost their lives, further motivating him to advocate for veterans and their families. As the weeks turned into months, both Nora and Elton reflected on their shared moment. For Nora, every time she heard "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road," it wasn't just a song but a reminder of her husband's love and service. It became an anthem of resilience and hope, encouraging her to continue living fully while keeping James's memory alive. For Elton, the encounter added depth to his artistic journey. He began to weave more stories of connection and healing into his performances. In this way, their brief meeting at the gala became a lasting bond, a testament to how music can transcend sorrow and foster a community where love endures through memory and melody. Ultimately, both Nora and Elton emerged from that experience with a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that music could be a powerful force for healing and remembrance in the face of loss. The charity gala in 2010, marked by the heartfelt connection between Nora Evans and Elton John, serves as a poignant reminder of the significance of personal connections forged through music. In an atmosphere filled with shared stories of love and loss, music emerged as a powerful force, allowing individuals to express emotions that words often could not capture. For Nora, meeting Elton provided a unique opportunity to share her husband's legacy while also finding solace in the melodies that had accompanied her through years of grief. As Elton dedicated "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road" to Nora, the entire audience became participants in this moment of remembrance. They witnessed the transformative power of music firsthand. It became a bridge linking past and present, binding them all together in a shared experience of healing. Each note resonated not just with Nora's memories of love but also with countless others who felt the weight of loss and the warmth of remembrance. Furthermore, this encounter highlighted how charity events can serve not only to raise funds but also to create meaningful connections among attendees. Music has the unique ability to transcend barriers, drawing people together regardless of background or experience. During moments like these, individuals are reminded of their shared humanity, of love, sacrifice, and the power of remembering those who have impacted their lives. Ultimately, the gala was more than an evening of entertainment. It became a celebration of life. The stories exchanged and memories honored transformed into a collective acknowledgement that love continues to shine through even in moments of sorrow. As both Nora and Elton reflected on their experience, they recognized that music not only heals but also fortifies relationships between generations, ensuring that love and legacy endure across time. In this way, the connection made at the gala illustrates how personal experiences can ripple outward, enriching communities and leaving lasting impressions on hearts everywhere.